Alright guys, hey, how you doing? How's your day going? Going good? Mine's going good. It's Weird Alicorn and I am back to read more of The Ocean Above Us. We're going to be doing chapter 2 today, called Simple. Simply called Simple. So, have yet to read this chapter, haven't rehearsed this at all, so we're going to see how badly I screw up these sentences as I'm reading them. And hopefully you guys stick along for the ride. And let's just get right into it then. Pretty long chapter, about 3,000 some words, I don't remember. Okay, here we go. It starts out with another quote. I believe the first one started out with a quote, didn't it? By Twilight. And she was like a scientist-y kind of person. This one is... I've always wondered what applications Adam has... ... Throwing fireballs and thunderbolts is brutish and downright ungraceful. There must be a more elegant purpose for it. Lady Rarity. Of course. Of course Rarity would say that. Oh, man. Yeah, for some reason my throat is like weird today. I don't know if I'm getting sick or... but I have like water with me, so that should help. We have a break in the text after that quote, and I guess this is the start of the second chapter. With an audible thump, the bathysphere latched into place along the guide rails that would lead into an opening in one of the buildings. The sphere came to an abrupt stop, then began to rise. Nimbus saw several frames on the walls that depicted a story... Whoa. Nimbus saw several frames on the walls that depicted a variety of items called plasmids. Oh, plasmids. Remember those guys. One such posted showed... One such posted showed the figure of a earth pony creating fire with his hooves. I am God! Another freezing the ground in front of him. Could non-unicorns really perform such feats? Hey, with anything's possible with the sweat off your brow, right? They surfaced in a dark chamber, only dimly lit by some flickering light source above them. From what he could see, they were in a dark hallway, but it was hard to tell where the lights with the lights flickering on and off. The lights are still flickering on and off. You guys know what that means. That hash-slinging slasher. Through the glass, Nimbus heard a muffled scream, and a little unicorn filly fell under the light. Slowly backing up onto her haunches, she wore a tattered dress, and her eyes were odd glowing. You're like, it's a little sister. Would you still call them that, or would they be called like little fillies or something? I don't know. She wore a tattered dress, and her eyes were an odd glowing yellow color. Her coat was light blue, and her mane a darker shade of blue. Nimbus looked up and saw what she was backing away from. A tall, thuggish-looking earth stallion approached her, a wicked grin spread across his face. Nimbus could only stare in shock as he heard his muffled threat through the glass. It's just you and me now, little girl. Don't you try to move. Your metal daddy won't be the only one I'm putting down today. That's my creepy voice, guys. His voice was sinister, cold, and twisted, like he couldn't even control himself. Nimbus looked over at Fluttershy, who was only staring in horror at the scene in front. Like, it's so funny that he has Fluttershy there, like, because this is, like, the grimmest fucking thing, and Fluttershy is, like, the sweetest fucking thing, so just fucking wills collide, and it's not right that sweet Fluttershy should be in this horrible place. Nimbus looked at Fluttershy, who was only staring in horror at the scene in front of her. Although she said nothing, Nimbus could read her thoughts like an open scroll, and shared those exact same ones. What would drive some pony to do this? Daddy! The filly cried out helplessly, fear causing her voice to tremble. Daddy's not home, little girl, the stallion said, taking another step forward, illuminating his features. He was pale red, like a rose that had wilted, and his mane was gone. No extra hair was on his head at all. His face, Nimbus flinched at the clear sight of his face. It was a disfigured mess, the skin warped beneath the fur, and cuts and punctures all over it. He picked a pipe that had fallen from the ceiling off the ground with a hoof, and stood on his hind legs, preparing to bring it down on the filly. Oh, shit. Okay, like a metal pipe. For some reason, I was thinking... For some odd reason, I thought he meant like a corn cob pipe, like he was about to smoke, because it's for this little filly. I don't know why. I'm retarded. Yeah, that's good. Who knows? Is this water, or am I drinking alcohol? You guys will never know. And, well, you probably will when I'm like halfway through this and I'm drunk as a skunk. Okay, Nimbus could have swore she heard Fluttershy scream next to him, but it was drowned out by an even louder noise, an unpony-like cry of fury and pain. In the seconds following, a bright red light flashed in Nimbus's eyes as an even larger stallion burst through the shadows and slammed the thug right into the bathysphere, rocking it and causing Fluttershy to faint in fright. Oh, Lord. The stallion wore a metal suit similar to the one the diver wore, with a large oxygen tank on its back, and a domed helmet with bright red light emanating from the circular visor. Daddy! The little filly seemed to be delighted at the sight of the monstrous golem of a stallion. Okay. Steadying himself on his hind legs, the golem pinned the thug against the glass window of the bathysphere. He raised his hoof to strike. As he did, he slipped his hoof into a device hanging from his flank, a cone-shaped piece of metal that began to spin dangerously fast as it was plunged into the stallion's belly, tearing his insides out. Ugh, gross. I can just totally picture this, especially since having played that game and seen that cutscene. I can totally see this happening. The grill stopped, and the golem brought it into him again and again, pummeling the thug for attacking his quote-unquote daughter. The glass began to crack under the pounding, and finally one last punch sent him flying through the blood-stained glass and into the back wall of the bathysphere. That's awesome, man. This is fucking cool. I know he's just kind of taking the idea from BioShock, but it's still kind of cool to like hear it written or to see it written out, and it's pretty decent descriptive language right there. The mangled mess of a pony laying in the back of the bathysphere didn't confirm that he was dead. He knew that the moment the metal golem touched him. What surprised him was that the stallion seemed to look at him, and then the unconscious filly, before the red glow from his helmet became yellow, and he simply turned around and coaxed the small filly to trot alongside him. Wait, what? Doesn't she like climb up on top? Whatever. Now that I picture it, it's kind of ridiculous picturing a big daddy pony. For some reason, it's just so weird in my head that would be a thing. He put his drill back on his flank and slowly cantered into the darkness, the filly close behind. Nimbus gently nudged Fluttershy's head with a hoof, wondering how he was going to get her out of this awkward situation. Awkward situation? That's not an awkward situation. That's like a fucking terrifying situation. You just saw a fucking stallion drill fucking Giga Tengen Topagurin Logan drill another pony to death. Like, fuck. I'd be terrified. I'd be like Fluttershy. I'd be like fainting of fright and stuff. Anyway, we have another break in the text. Far from Nimbus, a certain purple unicorn stood in the back room of the research facility that was Sparkle's Simplicities. Ah, that's a nice name. No, 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 she said, pounding on the table. Oh, no, it should be, no, 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 she said, pounding on the table that held a DNA sample under the microscope. There was a whole host of different samples that had been exposed to different stimuli, and she was the only one left in Spuckle Simplicities. That's hard to say. Try saying that 5 times fast. Spuckle Simplicities, I can't. Spuckle Simplicities to study them all. Well, she and her dragon assistant, but he was on the lookout for any splicers that may try to sneak in while her back was turned. This one isn't what I'm looking for. She removed the sample and slid the next one under the microscope, examining its structure. Nothing. Surely there must have been something that she was overlooking, but when she looked over each of them, she found nothing. None of these specimens have been exposed to enough Adam, she shouted, then stopped to think about what she had just said. What she needed was a subject that had more exposure to Adam, and a subject bigger than just a scrap of skin or blood. Adam was the miracle substance that opened a gateway of genetic modification to the ponies of Rapture. She had been one of the first scientists hired to study it after being sent to the city by Celestia to spy upon it and bring her information. But once she realized what technology and scientific wonders were being kept from them, she couldn't return. That is, she didn't want to return. I wouldn't want to either. If I could fucking shoot fireballs like Mario out of my hand, then hell no, I'm not coming back. That's epic. Escape was only impossible until after the Civil War broke out. But by the time that had died down, Andrew Ryan had already lost his marbles and wouldn't let any pony out anyway. Hello, my name is Andrew. What was my voice in the last? I know I had like a voice for Andrew Ryan, and I can't remember how to do it. I think it was just grandiose and over the top. That was the curse of Adam, she had discovered. Although it allowed genetic modification to make life easier, overuse of the stuff caused the user's perception to become warped and unable to control their urge to obtain more. It was addicting, like a drug, but it had so much more potential to help ponies if it could just be researched. It was a drug. It was like heroin or cocaine. I always thought that, like, when I first played the game, I was like, isn't this kind of like a PSA, like not to do drugs? Like they'll make you feel awesome and powerful, but you'll turn psycho, crazy, insane. And yes, that is a phrase I'm going to be using now: psycho, crazy, insane. It was if it could just be researched. That's where I was. That's why she stayed in the long run. It was to help the people here. They're not people; they're ponies. Even if they were all crazed addict splicers. If it meant possibly never seeing her friends again, that was fine, because these ponies helped her who needed her help. That's very courageous, Twilight. Oh crap. Air conditioner just came on. So that's going to be a background noise for you guys now. Fuck, that thing's loud, man. Twilight, she said to herself, recalling her previous light bulb moment. You're a genius! How is she a genius? But where was she going to get a live specimen that had enough exposure to Adam? The Little Sisters were out of the question. The only way she would be getting one from one of their big daddies was over his dead body, but Twilight would be the only one dead in that situation. Holy shit. I just had an image of a big daddy, like, drill going right through Twilight's fucking stomach. That's horrible. Damn you, story, making me imagine things that are horrible. Splicer wouldn't cooperate, and he'd most likely be in their bloodstream anyway, meaning she'd only get it over his dead body as well. Once again, Twilight told herself that she wasn't exactly a one-on-one fighter. I want to see Twilight beat the shit out of a Splicer. That'd be epic. No, what she needed was somebody who could actually absorb the atom instead of just consuming it. which meant she'd have to find some pony who willingly take her newest experimental plasmid. She had created several of the abilities during her time working on the working for the Stallion. Frank Fontaine. Oh, it's like Conman? Yeah, okay. Stallion. Frank Fontaine. When he had mysteriously disappeared, she had took over his branch of his corporation. Holy shit. I'm making up words now. Corporation. Renaming it Sparkle Simplicities. From there, she had become the boss, but worked with her employees until each one of them either left for a better life on the surface, or fell victim to the splicers, or even the temptation of Adam itself. The door suddenly slid open, revealing a panic-looking purple-scaled baby dragon who ran to Twilight urgently. Holy shit! Like, how? It's just so wrong. Like this whole fucking situation with these sweet, innocent fucking ponies being in this horrible place. It's just such a cognitive dissonance going on right now. I don't even know. It's, You're just like little Spike running away from splicers. It's just like the worst image in my head. It's like imagining dead puppies. It's just wrong. Twilight looked at the dragon, worried that some splicers or something had gained access to Sparkle Simplicities. What's wrong? Did somebody get in here? No, well, yes, but not in there, or not in here. Here, Spike began. What do you mean? Wait, whoa. What? I won't even get that. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, that's what he's saying. No, well, yes, but not in here. Spike began. What do you mean? Twilight was relieved that there was no imminent danger. I just watched a bathysphere come up here. Someone just got into rapture. Oh no! The unicorn breathed. That means... Oh no! She galloped out of the back room frantically. Twilight! Hey, wait up! We have another break in the text. Nimbus decided that it was best not to go anywhere until Fluttershy awoke. The thought of having to carry her while simultaneously running from those thugs and/or giant metal stallions did not encourage him to go anywhere. He did, however, try and clean up the thug's body to the best he could, not wanting his companion to wake up to a corpse. Jesus. He hefted the body into the shadows out of sight. Laying down next to Fluttershy, he spotted the pipe that the thug had used as a weapon. Perhaps a little personal defense wouldn't hurt. Yeah, I'd say you'd probably want to try that out. His thought was cut off as he heard a voice coming from somewhere. Is any pony there? The voice sounded as if it belonged to a mayor, one from a city like Manhattan. If any pony is there, would you kindly pick up? Nimbus was relieved to hear another voice that wasn't threatening. Yes, there's some pony here, and Nimbus had gotten up, pressing the button on the radio to send the transmission. What? Good. Look, my name's Athena, the voice said. I'm going to get you out of here, but you gotta help me too. What? I don't even know what's going on. I know, you just arrived here. What? He repeated. How did you know that? You just came in on the bathysphere, kid. It's not really subtle. What is this? You want me to help you? Even in return for help, this should just be a setup. How can I even trust you? He's from like a big city like Manhattan. I can't like think of a good... I want to do like a Brooklyn accent or something. Cause I know this city better than you. That was like a fucking southern accent. Nimbus sighed. Alright, but I got a companion with me. I'm going to have to wait until she wakes up until I can go anywhere. She's... sleeping? Athena asked, genuinely surprised. Oh, fuck, I can't talk, man. Where am I? We had a run-in with a thug when we first got here. She's not hurt, but she got frightened. She scares easily. Ah, Athena replied, in an understanding tone. I got me a good friend topside who jumps at her own shadow. Oh, so it's like fucking Twilight. Okay. Why am I like stupid? For some reason, I was thinking it was genuinely another brony. Uh, got me a good friend topside. It's been a while since I played the games, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah. Now, what is it that you need me to do? Well, Athena took a deep breath. I need you to get me out of here first. But you need to help me repay a friend. Her name's Twilight Sparkle, the head of Sparkle Simplicities. Oh wait, so it is another. For some reason, I thought it was Twilight. Okay, yeah, okay, I was right. I don't know why. When she said I have a friend Topside who jumps at her own shadow, I mean, obviously, I guess she's referring to Fluttershy. I guess maybe I don't know. All right. Off in the distance, Nimbus could barely make out an unlit neon sign at the end of the hallway that read Sparkle Simplicities, and an arrow pointing down another hallway to the left. What do you owe her for? It ain't important. But let's talk about yourself. What did you come here for? I'm here for my little sister and a friend she came here with. Your sister? Athena sounded a bit uneasy. I hate to break it to you, but I doubt she made it through all this. I hate to break it to you, but I doubt she made it through this if you say she's been down here for a while. What do you mean? Well, chances are, Athena was beginning to sound very uneasy at this point. Never mind. I bet we can find her. And your friend as well. Nimbus saw no point in pushing his concerns any further. He knew that this place wasn't as nice as he initially thought it to be, but that didn't mean that this was a lost cause. Athena was perfect proof that some pony could survive down here. On the ride up here, I saw some thug trying to kill a little filly. What was that all about? Well, it seemed that just the topic of little girls made Athena nervous. This whole city runs on Adam. Adam is sort of like this. It's like I can't really explain it, but every pony wants it, and every pony needs it. Those girls, those little sisters, they gathered the stuff. And what about those golems they walk around with? That's the Big Daddy, one of the toughest, meanest stallions in Rapture. Little sisters gather the Adam, and the Big Daddy clobbers anyone who tries to hurt her. Don't worry about him. He won't hurt you unless you give him a reason to. Okay, Nimbus answered unsurely. Is there anything else I need to know to this place? Well, if you're going to try to survive, you might want to pick up a few plasmids. Plasmids? Nimbus had an idea of what they were from the poster he'd saw, but he couldn't be sure without asking. Yeah, they're these genetic modifications that let you do cool stuff, like throw thunderbolts, lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt. Thunderbolts and free stuff. They come in little glowing vials at the Gatherer's Garden. Gatherer's Garden? Oh, that's just the name of the vending machine that sells plasmids and whatnot. You gotta use Adam to get them, though. But don't worry, they're not addictive like Adam itself. Just try to stay awake when you get one. Okay. Nimbus didn't know what that was supposed to mean. I'll keep that in mind. Holy shit, I'm running on like 24 minutes. How much more of this is there? I have to see really quick. This is a long fucking chapter. I might have to break this up into 2 parts, guys. Yeah, I'm probably going to break this up into 2 parts. Where was I? I don't know, let me just find where I was again. I can read till the end of this section. On the floor, Fluttershy began to stir. Where? What happened? Nimbus heard her whisper. We need to get going. It's dangerous here. Come with me. Is that monster around somewhere? Oh, don't let him get me, she breathed, sitting upright and holding Nimbus's front leg like a fall would. No, don't be crazy. Don't worry about him. He saved that little girl we saw. Oh, really? That's We need to get going. There's someone we need to meet. Nimbus helped Fluttershy to her hooves and stepped out of the bathysphere. He put the radio in his hammer space, a trick he learned from an interesting pink mare back in Ponyville, and started to lead Fluttershy down the hallway. Where was it? Hey, you still there? He heard Athena's voice on his radio. Who's that? Fluttershy asked. Only chance of getting out of here, Nimbus replied, pulling out the radio. Yeah, sorry, Athena. My friend is awake and we're moving towards Spuckle's Simplicities right now. You might want a little protection. Find a wrench or something. Contact me if you need me. But radios tend to be noisy, and noise attracts splicers, and splicers will attack you on sight. Alright, thanks. A glint of light caught his eye, and he looked back at the pipe that he'd noticed earlier before Athena contacted him. He picked it up, stowing it alongside his radio. When he turned around again, he met Fluttershy's eyes. He knew she had a lot of questions for him. What? She began, but Nimbus cut her off. I'll explain everything. We need to start walking, though. And that is the end of that section, and that's where I'm going to stop for right now. So, it's good. I like it. It's very involved. A lot of shit's happening, and I am enjoying this, so I'm going to definitely keep reading. And later, guys, I'll be back with the other part of this chapter sometime soon, hopefully.